Disclaimer: the information and education material contained herein is meant to promote the general understanding and dialogue of GANs processing. Such information is not meant or intended to serve as a substitute for a healthcare professional's clinical training, experience, or judgment. For patients and individuals, such information is not to be a substitute for professional medical, therapeutic, or healthcare advice or counseling. For medical issues or concerns, including decisions about medications and other treatments, readers, viewers, listeners should always consult their physician or, in serious cases, seek immediate assistance from emergency personnel. Prescription information, procedures, and use of medical devices information should be undertaken only by properly trained and certified medical personnel. We specifically disclaim any warranties, express or implied, including implied warranties of merchantability or fitness for a particular purpose. Such information is provided, as is, and is believed to be accurate at the time of its publishing, but it is the viewer's job to evaluate the accuracy of any information found in this presentation. Every case presented is of their own experience, applied by themselves for themselves, and it applies to their case only. Every person experiencing health problems should seek professional medical advice and consult their course of treatment with a doctor. The processes of plasma balancing described herein are a natural process which supports the body but does not replace medical advice or therapies one is already subject to.
It's time for change to move into the real work of the universe. And it's time to understand that we use the matter state to reach the level of understanding of the soul of the man. Now you understand maybe why the Creator has sent His messengers in the name of whatever you have had. Is that they bring the ears, that it can be used when the time of the Messiah comes. They can teach the soul and the message, not to oppose, but by them understanding through those who have become messiahs to give from their souls to these to elevate, the job is made easy. The school is there and the students are devotedly there. Then there won't be any fight between what they call the Muslims and the Christians. The lamb and the lion will eat and sleep in the same nest. The Christians and the Muslims will sleep and pray in the mosque and in the same church in the name of their souls, not in the name of religion that is used to create so much conflict for the benefit of those who were the hyperactive children. The time has come, the time of change is here. And as I said, my wish is my command. If it's your wish to see peace, the path of peace is laid very clearly. It's the soul of the collective awareness. By giving will create that position of change. No other thing. There is no pen in the soul of the man. And I'm sure once you go into the universal community, you will never see anything written but the balance of the fields of the soul of the existence. Try to be humble enough not to and you possess. Otherwise, you'll fall in the same path of the church and the mosque. This is what we promised, and this is what we have delivered. We have to understand the operation of the soul, and we have to understand the soul of the man is a star in the cosmos of the universe. If we compare the soul of the man and many of us, 7 billion in one collection, Earth is like a galaxy with so many stars. When we look in the depth of the universe, we see galaxies with hundreds of millions of stars in it. So is the planet Earth. It carries 7 billion beautiful stars, which are the soul of the man. Carries with it soul of so many trillions of animals, plants, and everything else. So if you look, when someone who does not see the physicality of the Earth and its content, what do they see? They see a galaxy with so many beautiful lights shining, each one according to their strength, each one according to their position. An infant has a beautiful soul, so has the old man. To those who do not see the physical dimension of this planet, but they see the strength of the field, we are clusters of stars. The human race, every single soul, no one from a distance sees that's the soul of a fisherman, that's the soul of the cosmologist, that's the soul of the president. They all shine irrespective of the physicality. This is the magic. This is what the new science has to bring to man. When we look to our soul, we see nothing but a star in the other souls. And this is the break. This is the understanding. This is what all these teachings are about. Coming to mature to the next level, to understand in the deep space, the universe is the oyster for those souls who serve. Then man is ready to go into space. Then man is ready to become part of the universal community which has been promised. I never promised you heaven. I always promised you the elevation of the man to join the family. And now you have the key. It's you who has to open the door to understand, if I can raise the soul of these people or millions of other souls, that the physical life on this planet changes, then I'm worthy to be part of the universal community. To be there to serve, to expand, to be there, to be part, that in the cycle of life of universe, I become, in being part, I become part of the totality. When man reaches that point, a new dimension in the strength of the soul of the man will appear, which is beyond imagination of understanding of the physical life. It's the gate to the opening of the new life, in a new dimension, which is beyond imagination of what you might call a new beginning, a new cycle. Which that cycle carries with itself the origin of the creation of life in the universe and in the universe. It's the elevation of the soul to serve become the key, not a throne of the physical life. The time is right. The time has come for the man to go through this process.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to the 416th One Planet, One Nation, One Race for Justice and World Peace, here on Tuesday, February 3rd, 2026. This is a production of the Keshe Foundation, Spaceship Institute, Education Department, and part of the public teachings in English. My name's Rick Crammond, and I'll be your host once again. And once again, we are joined with members and support members of the Universal Council who will be presenting today's program. And I will get that ready for us now. And I believe we can begin. And who do we begin with? How about Moshfek?
Rick, Moshfek is not here still. I welcome Mark, my dear Mark.
We're down a couple of players. We're down a couple of players at the moment, so we'll have to wear different hats perhaps today. Yes, welcome everybody to the One Planet, One Nation, One Race for World Peace. It almost seems an inachievable process, but we're in the process of actually going to that point. And of course, I think that was an enlightenment for me because I firmly believed in sovereign nation states and borders. And you work with your people, we'll work with our people. Yes, we'll have collaboration, but this is an enlightened position. I mean, we already are one planet. We already are one humanity in so many ways, or one race, and we're moving into this one nation. And of course, this one nation is actually appearing in the matter state, one nation, one planet, as we know in the game of peace and enlightenment. Almost in this case, the matter state is coming first, and the energy dimension will be introduced, but perhaps this is part of it. And of course, you're all welcome. This will be the new association, the new club in a way, as we set up in virtual reality, a Keshe coin internal and the rest. So it's actually manifesting itself before your eyes, and you're all welcome to be part of this One Planet, One Nation, One Race game. And this is where I think it's all going to start and continue. Of course, it's just one aspect. But when we talk about peace, I think within this game, there'll be fields and energies and plasmas and cosmic rays to bring you to a peaceful position as you play the game, and also to an enlightened position. So we have a lot of tools, but as Mr. Keshe said in that opening video, it's you who has to open the door, and we welcome you to open that door. Shweta?
Yes, my dear. I apologize. Yes, how beautifully you said, my dear Mark. As you welcomed with open heart and soul, I also welcome with you, my dear, in the welcome, dear beautiful soul, in the beauty and totality of Keshe Foundation Spaceship Institute organization. Welcome into the beautiful energies of beautiful souls existence, in existence, wherever, whenever you are, who you are doesn't matter anymore. We are one being in action. So welcome again, my dear. Salam, namaste, salute. And here is the yes, Mark.
Shweta, I see Mosfek has just arrived moments or just in time. So let's allow him to open his mic. We sort of gave a brief introduction of Mosfek, but if you'd like to add to the World Peace Treaty or
thank you.
The intro, perhaps he had something he wanted to convey. Let's just give him that opportunity.
No, sorry for a little bit of delay. The where we are now, we have a lot of possibilities. we see the old ways hidden, becoming exposed, and which will cause that to slowly fade away, and a new peace and prosperity is in the horizon. And we see Mr. Keshe emphasizing this in the teaching as well, is that the new horizon of plasma technology and its effect on the planetary condition is palpable. We can taste it, and now it is becoming available to the planet as a whole in a much wider scale. So it's an exciting period, and it's not just exciting. It's even our workshops have gotten a bit intense, just like the situation itself. But it's all coming together, and speaking of New Horizon, we are becoming familiar with the higher level aspects of the carbon isotopes in the form of plasma. And the possibilities are becoming much more exciting. And probably we can sum it up as the game has just begun. So let's all participate in it and enjoy it, and enjoy today's One Nation, One Planet, One Race, and participate in it to the best of our ability, and be part of this it's an old journey, but the culmination of it is what we are reaching towards. And so welcome everyone to this new game, or old game in a new name. And let's enjoy. Thank you very much.
Yes, when he mentioned, let's play the game in times past and months and years ago, I didn't think he was literally, but I'm sure he had that in his mind, that we would literally be playing Let the Games Begin. So this is the game, not only figuratively speaking, but in the actual matter state. And again, he said the freedom of the man is hidden behind this game. So there's much more to it than appears on the surface. And of course, as I said, the energy dimension will be embedded, and knowledge will be embedded into the game. And all you need to do, as I understand it, is play. So it's quite a phenomenal way to change the soup on this planet. As Mr. Keshe referred, he's a master chef. So the fields on this planet are being changed into a peaceful position. Apparently, this exists here and it needs to be changed. They're not throwing the soup out. They're actually going to adjust it or neutralize it, or perhaps add or take away certain things and adjust the overall soup in a way. And we're part of that soup just by playing the game. And I know I did play the game during the transmission session, but we'll talk about that later, perhaps. Anyone else?
Yes, we do have a point later that we'll be talking more about details of the game.
And the transmission session as well. And if anyone's in the attendees, they can always raise their hand if they'd like to share, or anyone else that was there. But again, this is something that sometimes people are a bit shy about in public, and we agree with that, as the soul decides what to share. So the World Peace Treaty, up to you to open the door. I introduced someone to the game of peace and enlightenment, and they said no, they go to church and they feel they're peaceful enough. So they had no interest. But again, ignorance is bliss. Once we understand the process of creation, and how, I was thinking about this earlier, how we've heard that the universe is 5% matter state. This is the love of the creation, and this is the interaction we seem to be not all over, apparently, but mankind has had this sort of way of destroying the matter state. And apparently it's very rare in the universe. And then continuing to carry this process across the universe, what we see on this planet of wars and all the rest, into its next position. So this is why I say the soup must be adjusted, not thrown out. And this is what we're trying to do by introducing a combination of technologies and games and cosmic rays and many other things. And so, as I've said, Mr. Keshe gets the easy part of the job, doing all the work in the background, and we get the more difficult part, which is popularizing this new, again, he's often said, a new science and a new ethos and a new language. And of course, now we understand it's the science of peace and the ethos of peace and the language of peace. And that has a lot of implications, depending, again, how you see it. Anyone else?
Yes, my dear. Thank you. Thank you so much. The World Peace Treaty. And I will do a short story, a very short story about, in the Hindu Puranas, I will say, that was Hindu, they told as a religious waste. But in the Puranas of India, and in the Upanishads, Vedas, there is this explanation about Kali, the fearful goddess, the Kali. She kills everyone. She justifies the killing, like that, And it is like that. She comes and kill everybody. Whoever she faces, her judgment is, why you are here, kind of that. If I am here in this corrupt area, in this corrupt realm, why you are standing in here? So you are also like that. I will kill you. The kind of goddess. And then she is so ferocious that she has this garland of skulls in her neck and all. So and kind of knife, a big knife in her hand to kill. And people praises this goddess. Till now in India, they worship Kali. And because in cult also they follow Kali, in magic also they follow Kali to be powerful, more powerful. But what happened is, the demons the Kali kills, the goddess kills, were also blessed by Shiva, the soul. As the soul is always one being, he blesses everybody. How you perform here, it is yours. Even Kali also has this, has to face judgment in the realm of Shiva. So, as the demons were also blessed by Shiva, they were blessed that whenever each drop of blood comes, when the Kali kills the demon and the demon's blood fell into the ground, another demon is created, and like this, thousands of demons always created. So after many years, eons, they fighted, like the goddess fighted. The goddess thought that I am fighting for justice, and the people saw that we became powerful because of the goddess. But then every time a blood spills, another 1,000 demons come. So, but then the beings, the being who want to be powerful, um, to be in peace, they chosen the goddess of knowledge and love, after all. So this Kali then transmuted, because we called the transmuted into Saraswati, the goddess of love, knowledge, and peace. And then people chosen peace for this. And then peace prevailed everywhere. Kind of that, when you, it is our choice. It is our choice what we want. Maya, the duality, the illusion, doesn't collapse through destruction or rebellion. It collapses through non participation. As we say, enough is enough. So choose wisely, my dear beautiful soul. Choose World Peace Treaty as humanity needs it now. We don't need the destruction of Kali. We need the love of Saraswati, the power, the beauty of knowledge, love, and peace. So sign the World Peace Treaty, my dear beautiful souls, as a citizen of Earth, this planet. And I will read it, of course. It's a pleasure. I am very proud to read it. We, as citizens of the Earth, from this moment on, accept to lay down all tools of aggression and war. We shall never think about getting involved or incite war or develop or use any tools of war on this planet or in space. And to this, we all agree and swear with our nation, territory, council, religion, city, town, body, and soul. Sign the World Peace Treaty with your soul pen, with your pen you have. Thank you, my dear beautiful souls. All the love, always, always. Salam, namaste, salute.
Okay, thank you, Mark and Shweta. Next, we have an excerpt from the last 627th Knowledge Seekers Workshop about Mithra's child. And this starts at the 2 hour and 16-minute mark. And let me share that now. Just happens to have my name come up at that moment for some in the background, but okay, so this will be about a 2-minute excerpt. There's one from Rick and everyone. I would like to learn more about the children of Mithras. Could you talk about them a little, or tell me where to find this information and why you refer to Mithras rather than the creator? Thank you.
Creator is a ray, Mitra is a converter. It's the love of the creator. Children of Mitra, they are those which within their grain of life, war does not exist. Killing doesn't, destruction doesn't exist. And they reflect the beauty of the creator, which is a giver. One thing which a lot of you will be shocked to understand, children of Mitra are the most selfish generation we'll ever see. The selfishness comes out of the inner emotion that they want to decide where and how to give the best. Doesn't come selfish that I want to hold on his mind. I give. The creator gives unconditionally. Children of Mitra gives condition as long as satisfies the need of the Creator. That's the difference. It's the reflection of the man within the soul of the man. And this is what we learn in the time to come. They all carry the beauty of attention. We all love them because when we see them, we cannot fall in love with them. Because they give even in their presence, not in their physical need. You'll understand soon. Shall we call it a day?
Sure. One quick question. Is the new paint? Okay, that's our excerpt on Mitra's Child from the 627th Knowledge Seekers Workshop. And back to our presentation. And next we have what's called the wishes. And I'll remind our audience that we'll have a full minute of silence after each wish is voiced. And you can contemplate and implement the wish during that time. I think we begin with Marinez, if she's here. I believe so.
Thank you. Thank you. It's Marinez Universal Council Support for Farsi Language. So it says, we, the Universal Council, elevate the people of the planet to engage through the game of peace and enlightenment.
We, from the universal creation as one soul, feel the suffering of all existing souls. We are feeling the peace in each existing soul, creating condition of a new time. Place what created of the universe, position the universe, position soul of the creator. We are present. Our wish is our command. We, the Universal Council, give from our soul to elevate the soul of sovereign nations so that they live in peace as equals. Our wish is our command. We are present.
We elevate the souls of all members in the past, present, and future of the Universal Council as one soul, as part of the totality of the knowledge of creation.
We, the Universal Council, make condition for all structure around Keshe Foundation to be supported financially and to have what they need at the point of need to bring a total change.
We, the Universal Council, give from our field strengths to empower the world leaders to negotiate and sign the World Peace Treaty, pledging their nations to a permanent and everlasting peace on this planet.
Next, we have the connection between souls with Mehran.
Yes. Join the soul of man with the soul of physicality by speaking these words in this moment. I love you, my soul. I live you and I love with you and I adore you. And see what will you get back. And we know that we have a soul of physicality which takes care of all this soul of the cellule of the body, the cells of the body, and it has its emotion. And we know that we have the soul of man that is in the skull, in the middle of the skull, and it's always quiet, calm, and gives the good resolutions. But when it comes to the soul of physicality through the circulation of the blood, the soul of physicality plays the games which are not always correct, mostly not correct. For example, they see a wallet or something, and soul of the man says you should not touch that. But the soul of physicality justifies, well, I take it and I put it back again. I take it because I absolutely need that, but I find the person, I give it back. So these things are the problems of the man, that the soul of physicality doesn't relay the messages of their soul. And the ideal is when the two are in harmony. And one of the things that Mr. Keshe tries to bring for us is that these two become in harmony. So for soul connection, I think I have to do it in my native language. So in short, it's about connecting, living, letting go of our soul in silence, and it contacts with others in the same goal, and we direct all to the subject of peace on earth. We all elevate the soul of the leaders, the soul of religious leaders and economic leaders, that they come to themselves, that they could realize what they are doing. And when they realize what they're doing, that's the moment which they stop, because the soul doesn't let them do wrong. But they're not seeing what they do. They're just like the drunk man who is breaking everything on his way. So I do it in my language, Farsi. سلام علیکم. در این برنامه ما میخوایم روح‌ها رو با هم بحث کنیم، به این صورت که آرام میشینیم یا هر جایی که هستیم و میذاریم که روحمون به دیگران وصل بشه که در همین حالت، در همین ساعت با هم در حال تماس هستن، و این روح رو آزاد میذاریم و فکر میکنیم به اینکه در این دنیا صلح میخوایم باشه، در این دنیا میخوایم همه موفق و سالم و هرچی میخوان داشته باشن، میخوایم جنگ نباشه، برادری باشه و همه به یک اندازه از همه چیز استفاده کنن با عدالت کامل. و روی این یک مقداری صبر میکنیم در این لحظه و سعی میکنیم با تماس با ارواح افراد دیگه در همین ساعت روی این هدف فکر کنیم. البته در ساعت 9 شب به وقت اروپا هر شب تمام دانشجویان روحاشون رو تماس میدن و همه با هم برای صلح بشریت و هدفهایی که گفتم با هم اشتراک پیدا. So when we think of peace for humanity, then bring that wish to ourselves, that we may feel and have the peace inside of us, and feel this peace in silence inside of us. Thank you very much. So, we, the Universal Council, invite the Keshe and Universal family present on the earth to unify at the soul level every time and every night at 9 p.m. CET. Give from our fields strength to enlighten the soul of the world leaders to negotiate and sign the World Peace Treaty, pledging their nations to everlasting peace on earth and throughout the universe. We know that Mr. Keshe has engaged to do this job, and we also go along as the time goes to reach this goal.
Okay, thank you, Marinez. I have an excerpt from the 576 Knowledge Seekers Workshop. It's about the invitation to be part of the Universal Council. And I will play that now.
There's something which I should have made announcement. As we are structuring and in a new development of the Keshe Foundation is worldwide application and implication. As we set up the structure for Universal Council, a number of Universal Council members have become old and they reach the age of 60 and they served during the 60 years they are there till 61. To run the functionality of the operation of the what we call energy dimension, the Universal Council members, if you want to become, please consider and let your soul decide of any languages around the world, as these will be announced very soon internationally. And we expect the souls to serve. And if it's from the knowledge seekers who understand the technology with dimension of the soul, you can apply to be added to and become a member of the Universal Council. The Earth Council is appointed by the Keshe Foundation, on the grounds of true structure of the nationality, understanding the culture, that there is no prejudice by physical dimension of the borders. And so if you feel your soul is there to serve humanity in expansion and the growth of it, just apply for it at the Keshe Foundation, or send the email to info@keshe.foundation, say I would like to be a member of the Universal Council. We receive this regularly, and now we're going to expand this very rapidly due to what is to come and what is to be done. Thank you very much.
Thank you, my dear Rick. And I also join with this invitation. We all join and say welcome, Suswagatam, into the Keshe Foundation Spaceship Institute organization as Universal Council members and Universal Council support members, and to serve humanity, to elevate humanity into the position, into the level of peace and enlightenment. So welcome, beautiful souls. Join from the whole planet. So thank you so much. And of course, I also welcome you to the into the different language Telegram groups from different language groups to join, have your interactions, have your we are all learning. I will not say answer, but interaction. I will say more, and join the Telegram groups of different language of Keshe Foundation, Spaceship Institute organization. Beautiful souls, ask, say, hear. We are also here to see, to say our heart and soul saying. So welcome. Join the Telegram group, beautiful souls. Ask, hear. We are here. Thank you. Thank you for joining us as one soul of peace. Thank you so much. Salam, namaste, salute.
And now we have thank you, Shweta. Now we have a discussion on the new Enlightenment game. And this is what we see on the screen, is a screenshot of the Enlightenment game, a game of peace and enlightenment. And Mark, is there something in particular you'd like to say about that? Moshfek as well?
Well, I was thinking of simulators, and we know how pilots train on simulators, shooters are using simulators. There's many simulators being used in the world to perfect. And in this game, you can fly by an airplane to different locations, or you can go through the transmutation, which only takes, again, a couple of seconds to arrive at a location. So in a way, I think this is preconditioning us, in a way, to be able to start working or accepting this idea or using the Keshe Foundation system as part of a travel unit or a travel system. And I'm getting quite familiar, or more familiar, with the planet and a little bit of its feeling as this game. You can, at the conclusion of when you gather resources at different locations, a couple of sentences opens up from the Wikipedia. And of course, you can expand that into pages and really get a very strong feeling. I usually just read, or I've read it a number of times because we've already traveled to each country a couple of times or multiple times as we continue to play. But again, as he said, what's hidden is the freedom of the man behind this game. And the whole structures are interconnected, from the coin to the game to the marketplace to the cosmic ray material to the Ubisos to the pain pens to even the Ganses we released. So I would encourage everyone, as Mr. Keshe has, this is the biggest gift. Of course, it's only in its beta, but he said this was the biggest gift he could give humanity. So I know people have reported being peaceful while playing the game. There seems to be an unlimited amount of resources in this game. And of course, I've never been a gamer. I actually thought they were child's play. But as we heard what Mr. Keshe had said years ago, let's play the game. I think he was actually referring to it as an actual game that he had in development or in the back of his mind to bring this technology. This is the way the technology is going to be delivered. So we have the One Nation, One Planet in a way set up. This will be a sort of a private association, but yet open to the public. It'll be a club, as he said, and you become part of the soup of the Keshe Foundation. Again, maybe you're just one piece of parsley in the soup and you become peaceful in the rest, or maybe you're a crouton. If you've had French cooking, you know what those are. But again, we're all part of the same soup, and that's why, in a way, I played it during the transmission session. Mr. Keshe even referred to that, have your game ready, because we might ask you to interact with the game, but I just took that and went ahead with it. So I think there's a lot more in the game, and of course, it'll change quite a bit. But this game will bring billions of people out of poverty, whether you're in the United States, Canada, Africa, China, many poor people around the world. And this, if you have the time and you can work with this game, I think you'll find it's quite effective in changing the harshness of existence on this planet. And I think that's part of Mr. Keshe's. And of course, the bringing the soul, you teach yourself to be peaceful. Again, I don't know how, and as he said, we'll teach the man to be peaceful, maybe without you even knowing you're becoming more peaceful. I know Rick has played the game, Mosfeq has played the game, others here have played the game or attempted to get it. It's quite easy, very simple, but I think it has a profound influence, as the hidden technologies will be embedded in this game if they're not already started to be, as we see with the Ubisos. And the Ubisos will even be connected into this game, as it is with the pain pens and probably other offers from the Keshe Foundation store. Anyone else? Rick, are you achieving enlightenment, or have you gone to another level? Or Mosfeq, anything you'd like to comment?
Well,
Perhaps.
definitely you touched on a big subject there with the idea of emotion being brought into the game and actually integrated as part of the actual game structure as Mr. Keshe envisions it. He's hooked up his devices at the other end in a way. And when we connect with the game, we also connect with the devices in some manner. And if that is implemented fully, it makes sense that we touch upon some of that higher emotion while playing the game. And I mean, the game is kind of, well, it is fun to play in many ways, and we enjoy it, but there's also perhaps another emotion underlying all of the fun kind of emotions, the emotion that's closer to the creator and the knowledge of the universe rather than just the knowledge of planet Earth. But we definitely learn a lot about the planet. For example, there's so many countries, and to play the game, you normally go to each country at least twice, as Mark mentioned, and gives you an opportunity to see the name of a country, to know where that position is on the planet, and perhaps that name will come up in the news or some other place where someone's talking about it. They're going to travel there, and maybe you already know a little bit, at least where that area of the world is, and maybe the language that's spoken there, and so on. And just having that knowledge alone is pretty important because it makes us aware of others on the planet and that there are all these countries. If you were to interview, if you look at North America, look at the USA, for example, and interview the people of the USA, many of them have very, very little awareness of other countries in the world, and they don't even know where Canada is sometimes, which is their neighbor to the north, and so on. I've seen interviews where the ignorance is quite high, and the same thing with people of other parts of the world. They don't necessarily study about the other countries of the world, so they're more centric to their own particular nationality in their own particular country. So the game helps or allows us to expand our attention and knowledge into other areas, which is basically what enlightenment is about. It's you become lighter in a way, even though all this additional knowledge kind of gets accumulated, but you become lighter because you're no longer focused on the country of your origin. You've been expanding out into the planet, and now your attention and your awareness includes the whole planet. And perhaps the next step after that is our awareness and attention might include other planets of our solar system, and then perhaps other star systems as well, and eventually all of the creation. And this is probably what Mr. Keshe has in further steps in the future, if we're all around to experience that. Or perhaps in 1,000 years, we'll have the Enlightenment game will include, other galaxies that we will be visiting. So who knows? But this is the basics. As Mark mentioned, this is the beta, and the version 1 will be coming out on, was it March 21st, I think? And so, yes, we encourage people to participate in the game. I'll put links in the chats here so that folks can get signed up if they need to and start playing.
But at least, Rick, some of us in the United States may not know where Canada is, but we know where our own backyard is. And part of this game, I think, is expanding that backyard to become part of the entire structure on this planet. This is what I'm feeling in a way through the game, and get comfortable with every position. I've also been quite interested in the flags and the stars and the moon. Not all countries, of course, but many symbols. I'm sure there's a story behind them, different shapes of stars and crescent moons and full moons and suns. And again, I think there's a bigger meaning in the flags that someday, but again, we leave our flags outside the room of peace in a way. No nation is the winner. It's the peace that will become the winner in this whole process. And again, the creation of a peaceful soul that can go into the universe. So this has far, far reaching implications. As Mr. Keshe said, we don't see what's fully embedded, but again, it will start to go live on the 21st of March, and then there'll be an energy dimension added in. Normally, as we understand the creation, the energy part comes first, and maybe this is the energy part in a way, but we see it, it's a reality, and the energy dimension, probably for power, for feeding for sure, energy for power, things for wellness, are all going to be tied into all the other offers in a way, or what the Keshe Foundation is setting up. So we encourage you to open that door of this gameplay for children or for grandmothers, as Mr. Keshe indicated. The only limitation will be that the you'll need an actual wallet to start playing this game, to be officially collecting your resources or coins or whatever. So I think a part of my gameplay, if it's allowed, will be to accumulate some of the coin and then to perhaps donate wallets to other people who are just struggling, and that €100 or €120 will be out of reach for them, but yet they have the time and the desire to bring themselves out of poverty. And this is the way it's going to be done, or less harsh, as Mr. Keshe indicated, of an existence. This is a very beautiful planet, probably the most beautiful planet in the matter state, but one of the harshest places to live in the universe. So this is being tempered, and it's hidden, all hidden within this kind of virtual reality gameplay, if I could put it that way.
Moshfaq, do you have anything you'd like to add?
Yes, as both you and Mark are talking about exploring the landscape of the planet, the game also allows us to explore parts of our own landscape, the landscape of our emotion. As we interact with various people who are playing in the game. And one of the intriguing aspects that's not present in the game, that which we are often a bit too preoccupied in our real life in this, is that the aspect of winning and losing. This game doesn't have anything like that. There is no winning, there is no losing. So once we take this part of winning and losing out of our thought process, we do begin to see other aspects such as that we have been exposed to, like resource constraint on this planet, and how that has shaped our conduct, our emotions, our stresses, our joys. And in this game, we are exposed to this new world of enough resources, plenty of resources. When we have enough, what do we do? How do we feel about it? When we don't have to, the worry of losing or the stress of winning, how do we behave? What is our emotion? And it's our own landscape and our interaction with other players in the game. They too are struggling in the same way, transitioning from how they are now to what they could become as they become more enlightened with the energy available to them, both within themselves as well as the energy field of the planet and that of the Keshe Foundation's attempt to make it easier for us to recognize and play with this energy. We are no longer resource constrained. We are no longer attached to the materiality of this planet. Yes, the material aspect is there. We can make it better. We can make it more beautiful by adding this dimension we called energy plasma. And this is something, as you become proficient in the game, you'll see this aspect of our own emotion. And you can even feel in certain aspect as the other player move around their emotions. So first we become familiar with our feelings, our emotions, and then as we get better at it, can we engage our emotion in a new way? So there's a new horizon opening up. And as the peace dawns, so does the enlightenment. I think there is a lot to do and become familiar with. And I encourage everybody to try it out and see where it takes you. It's a new horizon. Thank you very much.
Okay, thank you, Mashfaq. I see that there's a question from Gatawa in their chat about the enlightenment meter has gone to 0. Does anyone know why? And I just checked the game chat, and apparently Ilanka says the game will restart every month. You keep your coins, etc., but not the enlightenment. So apparently the enlightenment goes back to 0 every month. And that's what's happened over the last day or so.
And how did they build up the enlightenment to 100%? Wasn't that by traveling through the countries?
Yes.
Mm-hmm. So you'll probably be repeating that process in a way. Instead of twice, it'll be 3 times or 4 times. This should start to ingrain the familiarity with you of the planet and how small it really is.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, good point.
And what Mashfaq was saying about the emotion, yeah, I've had to examine mine in a way. I'm in France and I'm looking for certain resources. I can't move because I have to wait to, both boxes are checked that I, am there. But I see a resource pop up in China and I say, oh, that's the one I needed. I hope no one else gets that. I need that first. And I said, wait a minute, this is not the way to play the game. That emotion is wrong. There's plenty of resources. So now if something pops up, I'm trying to balance it and say, if someone else gets it, all good and all well. And it'll be there for me when I need it.
Yeah, I've encountered that emotion as well in the game. And sometimes where the resources are all close together and spacing is tight, I sometimes just leave that area alone because I could inadvertently claim a resource, but someone else could be claiming it at the same time. And if they get there a little before me, but I'm not seeing them on my screen, then basically I've stepped on someone's toes or they've stepped on my toes. Somehow we've gotten elbow to elbow there, and one person will get the resource and the other might get, I'm sorry, no resource there.
Already claimed.
Already claimed.
Well, this is part of the cooperation and collaboration that's being instilled here, rather, as you said, than winning in the losing idea. It's a win-win game for everyone.
And it's interesting in the chat after Ilanka said that about the you keep your coins but not the enlightenment. Someone called Plasma Man says, so this game can't enlighten me? And Ilanka replies, it still can, as what do you feel now? What is your emotion now? How could you see it different, accept it more? That is the real enlightenment. Plasma Man says, should I be feeling the sound of firecrackers, fireworks, icons, the whole screen? Ilanka replies, It is not in the game, but within you. End of message.
So again, I would say this is just not a game. This is a reactor. As Mr. Keshe likes to play these sorts of things, as he said, we're going to game the system. This is part of the doing it, and this is where you teach yourself to become peaceful and enlightened. So I think there's a much bigger structure within this game that touches everyone in a way. And of course, the energy dimension is coming in the very near future. If they're going to power the One Nation network units through the cosmic ray, certainly you'll be able to have or order through an app or something else energy for lighting and power, I believe. And of course, you'll use what you've earned in the store. I gave that example the other day. You take the family out for a milkshake in the United States, and it might be $8 or $10 each milkshake. So that's say $40 or whatever it is, 4 times 8, $32. And if you could order those milkshakes, you still can be in the car, and you can then the family taste the milkshake and get satisfied with the energy of the milkshake delivered through the cosmic rays. Now that $32 stays in your pocket, and you can decide maybe you want to spend it in another location. And then, of course, extend that to power, as power for lighting and energy will be delivered in the same way at a much tiny cost, it seems. And even with that tiny cost, like a penny for an apple in the energy dimension, not the physical apple, Mr. Keshe indicated there's still 1,000% profit within that structure of that 1 penny. So this is how it's, we don't fully understand it, but again, by playing it, I think it brings us more understanding. I think Mosfeq related that to me at one time.
So we have a comment. Hello, I am Saeed. Can we expand our consciousness using this game? Perhaps that's what.
Is there a meter for that, Rick? Do we have a consciousness meter on our left pop-out menu? If you pop it out, or is this a station?
That's just let me get my actual window up here. We'll have a look at that.
As is the case in the game, the consciousness gets increased as you meditate. So I would suggest meditating.
And I notice sometimes my consciousness goes down to 90%, and I just take a meditation book out of my inventory, and then I bring it back up to 100%. I don't know why it depletes. There it is.
So we have a consciousness bar here, and that can be increased by how do we increase the consciousness?
I think it's going to the inventory. Now, you can't see it here because I believe you're already at 100%, but they said you want to keep it above that line, which is 80%. So you would go to your inventory and you would click on a book of meditation, Mosfeq. Yeah, yes. And you have small, medium, and large, and that will bring you back up to your just one large. It's 10. It's a point for a point. So if you're at 90, one large plus 10. The large energy drink will bring you back to 100%. But why it depletes, I'm not sure.
Yeah, and over 80% gives you additional bonus for energy regen if you select that.
If you take the quiz every day, then it comes back up. You don't have to use a book. Just take the quiz. In addition to increasing your knowledge, it helps to bring the consciousness back up as soon as you take the quiz. Every day when you see the drop of 90%, take the quiz and it will come back to 100%.
And with the quiz, are you being graded, or do you get that resource just for participating, whether you answer correctly or incorrect?
Yeah, well, go and try it. you know, you'll see. I mean, it's very easy. You'll notice what happens.
Yeah, it's hard to tell because the quiz doesn't add that much to your knowledge. I mean, there's two quizzes, the world quiz and the regular quiz. And both of those might, if you answer them all right, it might increase the knowledge point 1%, but I don't even think it goes that far. So then you have to accumulate your wisdom books and apply them to try to increase the knowledge. And that's slow going as well. I've been playing for a long time and still only have 36% knowledge, whereas Moshfek is a pro and you've got 100% knowledge, correct, Moshfek?
And the
Yes,
world,
yes, I'm 100%. It's not that difficult. You'll see. And you know, the thing is that I had a tendency to collect, you know, wisdom books. And now that I'm at 100%, what do I do?
Well, that's the thing. Yeah. What do you do once you've done it all and accumulated all the stuff you need? What do you do then?
Yeah, what do you do then? It's kind of like you are in a position, you know, how do you participate in the game when you have enough? And this
But
is a
then,
very intriguing possibility that you will come to as you get better at it.
yes, I'm
And
sure there'll be ways that we can help others as well. Once we have enough, it's natural that you want to help others, right?
that was the beacon icon that used to appear, which hasn't appeared, where you could donate some of your resources to others or other countries. One of
but
the,
you know,
yep.
I want to add something. You know, here we're collecting resources, you know, in the game, but it ties in with the Keshe Foundation store. So there is all kinds of possibilities of like giving gifts to others, and I'm not talking even at the energy level. It's even at the material level of the products that's within the Keshe Foundation. So there are all kinds of things in the game, you know, you can give. And when you have enough, I mean, you know, thing is that it's not just giving a gift. The giving gift is something like useful to the other person. You know, you feel for the need and then give accordingly. It's a very it's a very multifaceted and powerful game. You'll see, and because just taking this notion of winning and losing out alters the dynamics in a profound way.
And there also is a world quiz, I think, which also contributes probably to your knowledge and your consciousness. And I think this is part of the enlightenment. I don't know if you ran into that question. I thought I had it figured out which country has the most islands. And I think they named Philippines. And I was thinking, wow, that's 7,000 islands. And then some other countries, which country had the most islands? And they listed Sweden. And I never would have picked Sweden. And now come to find out, Sweden has 243,000 islands. Only 1,000, it said in the wiki, are occupied. So yeah, it throws a little bit of curve, but it also brings you enlightenment, where I thought it was one of the perhaps Micronesia or one of the other islands, the Fijis or the Philippines or Indonesia, but it was actually Sweden was the correct answer.
Yes, there's been a few times I've had to resort to Wikipedia to figure out the answers that I was stumped on. You know, which country certain mountains are in and so on and so forth. And yeah, that makes you, it forces you to use your knowledge and find out more knowledge in order to get the answers. And that's part of what enlightenment and expansion and seeking knowledge is all about.
There's a question here from Would you like a mic, Just raise your hand. How do I know if the quiz was actually submitted?
Well, that's easy because, for example, when I open my quiz after submitting it, it'll show a green line over the answers that are correct and a red line over the answers that are incorrect. So you'll know right away, and it'll say at the top, already completed today, instead of complete today or something like that. It'll say already completed today, give the date and the number of answers out of 5 that you have correct, your lifetime numbers of correct out of the total, and your knowledge percent. And it says review, green equals correct, red equals selected but wrong. So you get sort of corrected in your test as soon as you submit it. You hit the submit button at the bottom there. And after you select your answers, and it should come back right away with the corrections, if any.
Yeah, I just take the test. I don't look up for the correct answers. I mean, you could be an elephant and get everything right because they're giving you the answers. So I just take the quiz in about 10 or 20, 30 seconds and done.
How do you know if you got the answers correct?
Well, I go back and check, as you said. You can take a look at where you've made a mistake or where you haven't, but I don't think you're penalized for the wrong answer. It's your participation in the process that you get.
No, I think that your actual lifetime numbers of correct, like it says at the top here, it's 5 out of 5. If I got one wrong, it would be 4 out of 5. And it has lifetime correct. I have 3316 out of 9125. So if I got less correct, then I'll have less in the lifetime correct, and therefore less knowledge points accumulated, I believe.
Okay. But I was thinking, as you said, Rick, 95% is just showing up. So if you participate,
yes, right.
I think
I thought about that phrase earlier today, in fact.
And we heard that, as he said, the children of Mitra are not so much giving, they're giving out of their presence, just being there, not so much out of the physicality, correct? Is that what we heard earlier?
Yes, essentially. They were manifesting the unconditional love, but conditionally that it'll be for the creator. And it was about the presence rather than the physicality. All right, perhaps we should move on from the game. If that's possible. Once you're connected, you're always connected, I think. Okay, let's get my schedule up here. I'm to play an excerpt from the 627th Knowledge Seekers Workshop. Okay, let me see. Let me get that set up here. Starts at 1:40. It's 1 hour and 40 minutes. Just bear with me a few seconds here.
And I'll just mention the monthly meeting for testimonials, which I'm sure Rick will cover before we close, is next Monday in the same Zoom room at 8 p.m. Central European time. So if you have a testimony, small, or just want to be present to give out of your presence, feel free to join us. Thank you, Rick.
Okay, thank you, Mark. Okay, just playing a little bit here to get up to where it's supposed to be. 140.37. Okay, this is an excerpt from the 627th Knowledge Seekers Workshop about the peaceful condition.
Mr. Keshe, you said we move to other spaces in the universe, our DNA will change. Is because the DNA is a structure, so our structure changes, but our RNA or information carries the same, yes?
RNA is a physical dimension. We are touching the interaction between the RNA and the physical condition after which is the DNA. If the information is wrong, wherever you go, you produce that system. We are interacting with the RNA to bring that change. You understand? There's a fault in the message. So that fault can be only changed in the software, not in the hardware. And this is what we're trying to do.
Because the DNA is a structure, but the RNA copies the information and put it someplace else.
So that's why we work with the cosmic rays. That's why we work with understanding of the process of the creation and not with the mechanical system of the creation.
But shouldn't we think about if even one person's RNA and DNA changes, that could be transmitted to other human being? Or
it is part of, we have seeded that in the program today. As I told you, one of the knowledge, only one of you there, they know who they are. We've been asked to use a specific way, and we have set up specifically our system for that single person today. And we learn from it by the end of today, and then we assess how to handle the sessions tomorrow. And then the following sessions. And then we understand how to transmit these energies to make a peaceful man, to allow the soul to enter in the new dimension of his own freedom. We have to teach it that many of you carry that knowledge. And it's not just done by one man. There's no time anymore. I brought the message with 10 stones or 20 stones, and that's what it says. We give the message. Is you who writes how many books he writes and how many stones you write on.
Thank you, Mr. Keshe.
Thank you very much. Any other question?
Okay. Okay, indeed. Let's go back to our presentation here. I see we had a question from Irmgard about how do I know if the quiz was actually submitted, or are there only certain times when they take the quiz? What if nothing happens? I click submit and nothing happens. First, make sure you have all of the questions. You have an answer, select an answer to all the questions, otherwise it won't submit. And if you've already submitted the quiz once, then it only submits once per day and won't allow you to submit a second time. So you have to wait a day to do the next quiz. And note there are 2 quizzes now, so there's you can submit each quiz once per day. To say something there, Mark?
No, no, other than that's correct. If you don't have all the answers checked, it will not submit. And it's happened to me. Or if you're scrolling on that screen, when the quiz comes up, I've noticed if I put too much pressure with my finger, it could change an answer in one of the answers you've already given. So go back and double check your answers are the same as when you check them. Just because of the scrolling, or just maybe I'm just a little all thumbs or something.
I've had that happen once or twice too. Mm-hmm. All right, well, perhaps we can move to the knowledge and understanding part of our program here. If with Stefania and Dean, I don't think Dean is here, but Stefania, would you like to go ahead with knowledge and understanding from the 627th Knowledge Seekers Workshop?
Hello, everybody. Hi, Rick. I can't find my headphone. I don't know. I don't know if Dean want to start. Yeah.
This is better, Stefania. Dean's
it's
not
better.
with us, so you sound clear and strong. Thank you.
Okay. Yeah. I'm just going to do the room 1 second, just because my mom, she's there is noise. 1 second, so I'll see if I can. Can you hear me? Okay.
Yes, clearly. Okay. Very good.
Yeah, perfect. So let me know, because I don't have my headphones. So yes, I mean, the 627, I didn't have the chance to go through all the workshop because I was keeping stopping, go back, stopping, go back, stop, go back, because it's a very, very deep workshop. So still now I'm trying to understand it deeply. But what I recommend to everyone, if anyone who listen this 627, if you can recall the most important point of that workshop, or if you can rewind it in your mind, but using a different order. So change the order of the workshop. I'm trying to find different way to try to remember the workshop without writing things down. I usually do, because this helped me, but at the same time I'm trying also to exercise our brain to remember what we just maybe listen without putting down any notes. So today I'm gonna try to do this as well. Unfortunately, I didn't listen the old workshop, but Mr. Keshe in the 627, in the first part, it really went deep on the, and it's very connected with the previous workshop, with the 226. It went deeper on the importance of it went back to the hydrogen and explain. He started to explain the differences again. That we live this duality. We live in the energy life. We got the energy life, and then the material life, and the energy life. We call him a dream. But if we stop to call it a dream and we understand that it's a part of our life, same as the life that we do during the day, then maybe we can learn to live at full both. Then he start to go into more into the hydrogen, and he explain again the fundamental particle, what connect us to the creator, in the line of communication with the creator, and how this original fields that it's inside of all of us. We all have these fields in us. We can use it. We can use it in a functional way to transmute. So, and he make a different example. How can we turn into, shape-shifting into trees, to feel how the tree lives, or how can we turn into a shape of a dog to understand how dog experience the life, no? So to me, this point was make us, Mr. Keshe want us to make us also understand that that the soul are all the same. So we all have that connection with the creator, that hydrogen particle, and from this particle, explain if we know how to use it, we can then use different shade of it, like he said in the material life are like isotopes. In the energy side, there are like differences between magnetic and gravitational fields, magnetic fields, energy fields. And he said how if you can learn how to use them to our advantage, we can then transmute and shape-shifting and travel into different parts of the space. So I really recommend you to go and listen, because it's got really in depth. It talk again about how we can use our body to transmute, and how we can can I say you see, the fact I cannot repeat properly, it's because me too, I didn't understood fully. So the carbon, it talks, if you remember the graphic when the draws when he from the he said from the hydrogen, that it's connected to the creator. When the ray comes from the creator, and then, for example, in the soul of the man, you have this feedback, this interaction of the fields, this feedback. So the ray goes, and when it's come back, the feedback, it come back in carbon-14. And then it going to explain the carbon-14, carbon-12, that it's the one that with interaction with the atmosphere, interaction of the inertia of this planet, and you make an example of the inertia, for example, of the galaxy and universe. Then we can create also the human body and everything that is also in the solar system. So he talked again about inertia, different type of inertia, different type of carbon. He arrived up to the carbon 48. So he going, he going to carbon 14, 16, 24, 48. So up to the unicos. So we can if we understood this knowledge, we can change the strength of the carbon, and therefore we can then connect to different dimension or different parts of we can say it part of Orpho, of universe, or galaxy. So this bit, I really recommend you to go in and listen, because maybe what I summarize, it's not completely correct. So I will recommend you to go and listen and see if you can understand and take it deeper. It took again, to me, it took again about space and time. I don't know what to say more. I don't know if you, Mark, you want to add anything, or Dean.
No, I think you've done a comprehensive job. Thank you. As he said, it's very deep. I don't know how he put it, but it's another heavy teaching. But I think you fulfilled it. Yeah, then you went into the break, I guess, and of course, Rick played the video of some of the offers in the store.
I don't hear you very well. I don't know if it's just me, but I'm
Okay.
not hearing you very well.
Maybe it's just
Muffled with your mic there, Mark.
okay. Well, as I was saying, Rick played the video of some of the offers for Valentine's, for Easter, a number of different things. He talked about toys in place of medicine for children, as they don't like to take medicines. He talked about energy packs and how to overcome will be part of this. A number of products are on sale in the store, some of the gel packs, and of course he introduced the new pain pen as well, which is hooked into the Ubisos and can be actually changed for certain conditions, whether it's a migraine headache or a sprain or even a broken bone. So these are phenomenal in some sort of biological resin. Maybe we can open that up in the Reactor group. I didn't even know there was a biological resin, but this is what they use for the cosmic rays, balls and so on. So again, massive developments. He went many different places, of course.
You just reminded me that you also mentioned that the workshop was being, I don't know if anyone participated that workshop and want to do a testimonial, but you just remind me that the fact that he said that the next day, so last Friday, he was using a new technology never used before in planet Earth. And it was with the objective to create condition for us to transmute. So it was very connecting to the first part of the teaching, where when he explained there are different shades of hydrogen, different type of hydrogen, and different spectrum of fields of what maybe in the matter state we consider only one thing, but there are many different facets like the isotopes. He said that obviously the skull, it's there to make a function our body properly, but at the same time it's got this side where it block us to make this cosmic ray from our soul to us to become aware of what we can do with this cosmic ray that we have in us as well. So the transmutation session of last Friday and the next 3 months, he's saying that he will use this new development of the technology never used before, where it facilitate all of us to be able to have available of different shade of I say differentiated because I don't have the word of yeah, of, for example, carbons. So assume we can decide then where to go. And then he said as well that knowledge will come within. Knowledge will come with these fields. So people who will be present to this monthly session, they will be enlightened. So they will have the knowledge to then understand how to transmute and what to do, where to go. So it's very interesting. So it's gonna be very exciting, even for who's gonna be in the research group. So you just remind me this. That was quite.
Yeah, he said there's so much going on, Stefania, in the background, and of course, as we know, he's also said that we only reveal about 5% or less to the public and to the knowledge seekers. So there's much, much more But of course, he covered the destabilization of Iran quite a bit about geopolitics. And then, of course, we saw the UFO, the Iranian UFO for defensive purposes.
That was fun. Yeah, it was interesting.
Yeah, amazing. As he said, years ago, they've been flying over our country here in the United States. We just didn't have the radar systems to detect them. So
and that one was backwards then. It's still, do you remember when he done the draw of the two type of UFO?
Yes, so, mechanical and energy type.
Yeah, exactly. So the one they're using, it's still old technology compared to what Mr. Keshe has developed already.
Yes, but as he said, it cannot be defended, apparently. So it's quite advanced past matter state. But as he said, we're still continuing to wish for peace, but there's a lot of things being amassed. And I had just recently heard that the Eisenhower, one of the flagships, has departed that area. And I know the Chinese are sort of floating in there, and so aren't the Russians. So, and the Iranians doing live drills. So he went into quite a bit about the geopolitics and the rest, and we'll just have to see. But again, we wish for peace and that we can go through this the easy way and not the hard way.
Yeah, he said that. He said that they will use the technology in the sense to defend, to avoiding peace in such a way that to keep peace, meaning that if they will try to attack Iran, then if I understood correctly, you can correct me if I'm wrong. He will use the technology. They will be able to use it because they use it to keep the peace. So because they will not be able to attack them if they use the technology of advanced technology of the Keshe Foundation. I remember another bit of the workshop, the one of the 3D printing. That was very interesting because he said that now with this resin, where in the resin there are the cosmic ray, and the intention it's peace and balance. So the product that people can buy now in the Keshe store have all cosmic ray, and they all have with intention of peace and balance.
How about the part, Stefania, where he said we were more advanced 130,000 years ago than we are today? I mean, they didn't have skyscrapers or 1,000 horsepower vehicles or any of the high-speed rail, but he said they were more advanced. I'm still trying to work that out.
I didn't understand that.
Yeah, he said we were much more advanced, apparently.
We were, yeah.
Yes, humanity, yes.
Yeah, yes. I'm actually, yes. I now, yes, I understand that, yeah. Because the technology we have, obviously, yes, more advanced. The example was the example of the spacecraft as well. Yes, but what I like the bit when he said that he said that very soon everyone will have like a 3D printing in their home, and they will be able to give him the resin with the cosmic ray inside, and people will be able to build what they need at the point of need.
Yeah, he was referencing the copper cups, I think, printing them on a small scale in your home. And the material comes from the interaction, very similar to what we saw in Beijing, where you don't add resin. It's the material that's created out of the cosmic ray interactions, and then you print a copper cup. And then, of course, it'll be scaled up for industrial production as well. But he sees this as very achievable.
Yeah, I really like that. I really also like the fact that he make toy for children, and in that way he said children don't need to get more medication. It would be a different way to make the people feeling better.
Yeah, I thought that point on the sweet beads, I guess they'll be connected to the Ubisos too. And again, people don't need to understand the technology, make the technology, just wear a bead as a bracelet, or maybe two bracelets. I'm not sure. We haven't seen it yet. I don't think posted in the store, but a phenomenal development, and just wearing advanced space technology can bring a change in the condition.
You know, I had a knowledge seeker, Italian knowledge seeker. She ordered the Halloween packet for Halloween, and I went to visit her, and she gave me as a present there was a different size, and then she gave me two very small one. I said, okay, she just pick two, and then she gave me two very small little. They were a part of faces. They were part of the Halloween decoration. No, very small. So these two small things, they fit my ear. I put it in my ear, one in one ear and one in the other ear, and I use them like a headphone. I use them, so I put one in one ear, one in the other ear, and I can feel the fields, balancing through the head. I thought this is great.
Yeah, this is what he said about these little resin items that you can bring peace into your own home. You don't have to make them, and you don't have to understand the technology, but you can put them in various places. Or as he said, with some of those, maybe not the one Rick is using for the background, I think that's a coaster. But he said some of these should be suspended. They actually have a little hole where you can put a string and suspend them in certain positions, and you choose the position. But he did say keep them away from the metals as well, apparently.
Yeah, this is
So,
very important information.
Yeah, you can bring peace into your own home. Yeah, continue counseling or whatever you're doing, or if you think the home isn't peaceful enough, or maybe a child is hitting the wall too often, as Mr. Keshe used to do as a child, you can try and see how these items actually, I think they're sold individually, not as a package this time, but they're not that expensive. And what is the price of peace and balance through the frame of the doorway when someone comes home? I think it's priceless.
And also, he said that the research group was the Keshe Foundation were collaborating with for research with charities. Do you remember that bit? When when then I make the question about this group of, for example, I'm in contact with a person who does a lot of social work. He does a lot of volunteer for, he working with prisoner, and he tried to, young prisoner just come out of prison, and they have to reintegrate them into society. So they have a place where they make him doing a lot of work for community work. I
You
take it
mean
about
like a transition home from
yeah,
the
transition.
prison to the transition home back into the society? Yes.
Yes. So the Keshe Foundation, I think, Keshe said that they are open to collaborate. I don't know if in the near future with charity and the research group, because I remember I make this question to Mr. Keshe last week, if they would love to collaborate with youngest prisoner they have to integrate it. So that would be very interesting to do, because if we can help all people in need, that would be great, great things.
Yeah, he said that about the Obisos probably years ago, where he said you could take the most violent person in the prison system and put them through the process of the Obiso, and they would become a productive member of the society. So,
to tell you the truth, because I went to see them last Sunday, a few days ago. I have to say that I found lots of full of love in this environment, because All the worker, they just for them is like a mission. So they're really dedicating to support these younger people to get back to society. And the people who are there, they maybe had a really difficult past. They are really grateful to be surrounded by those people and having the opportunity to pay back, no? So I really found this love in that place. It was amazing. And then a group of actors came, young actors that used to acting in the past, and they become older, but they managed to get a lot of funding through their acting. They were doing as a hobby, but they were becoming quite successful. But they decided to split, so they give all the funding to the prisoner, and the prisoner they to thanks them they make a huge dinner where luckily I was invited as well, so I went, and was a place really full of love, and they were so well organized as well. For coincidence, I asked them, "What do you have?" They have 3D printing, and they have like they're gonna do a little movie. So they have a cameraman, they, but they're doing a lot of stuff for society, like they helping elderly to go to the hospital, do the appointment, waiting for them, taking back, or they moving house. If someone have to move a house, they helping to take their stuff from one place to another, or they have a garden where they selling second-hand clothes to support themselves. So I give them the game of peace because by talking with the organizer, with the volunteer there, they said to me, "Look, the easy way to introduce me to the space technology maybe is the game." So I introduced them to the game of peace. So I hope they're going to. I'm gonna follow them up, but I hope they're gonna start to all play because there are some of them are teenagers, they're going from 14 years old to 20, 30 years old. Yeah, so you have some elderly people as well who've been 30 years in prison or something, who they were cooking and helping. So it would be great if they all can play the game of peace.
Right, and this is what Mr. Keshe, I think near the end of the workshop, he said, we're here to adjust the soup or the fields or the land is poison. And as we can see in some of the recent releases, our leadership has been quite naughty as well, at least in the Western world, probably in the Eastern world. And of course, he talked about JP Morgan and their silver issue. So again, we went around the planet in a way, from geopolitics to some of the advanced space technology being developed within the Keshe Foundation. But as he said, we don't go public with a lot of things because people seem to want to interfere with this development. But we're keeping the Keshe Foundation free for development, and that's why we're here.
So there's a question in YouTube from Saeed again. In the future, will my playing of this game help the situation in different regions, specifically war-torn regions? If the energetic dimension comes into play, how can this help those in these war-torn areas? And you mentioned, Mark, already how, for example, if someone or some group in some other country, maybe a warring country, or war-torn, as it's called, country, we could actually physically help people by sending them GANS products, for example. Perhaps that's a physical way, but we could also send them energy in terms of focusing on a particular area of the map as such, which is an area of the world, and sending our energies that way, our energetic parts, which is
Perfect.
part of what we do in this workshop, actually, the needs and wishes, the various wishes that are sent out are an energetic dimension that's sent to specific regions of the world. But the playing of the game could be more direct that way, and there could be ways in the future of setting that up for help. I think Mr. Keshe mentioned that there will be other aspects of the game that come out in the future once the version 1 comes out, and some of the programming is further developed. And of course, as you mentioned, Mark, there's tie-ins with the products of the Keshe Foundation store, and various other aspects of the Keshe Foundation can be brought into play. Perhaps, it just occurred to me, maybe the medical doctors would have their part to play in all of that as well. And certain situations, maybe they would be called in, and maybe other situations, the Universal Council gets called in to help with certain areas.
And of course, he said he's going to travel to Belgium or whatever country it will be by then to complete some of the books that I guess are mostly completed. They just need some touch-ups. But I think there's 6 more actual books to come out. So again, more knowledge in depth and different ways of explaining it or transferring it. But that's what he was working on, was this transmission, I think, part of the transmission session. Anyone else want to add? Please do.
Hello, you hear me though?
Thank you, Anya. Thank you, Alice. I think she
I just said heard
yeah, I think she might have hit the leave button or something. She's not with us right at the moment. She'll be back. Here she is.
Hello?
Yes.
I was cut. Thank you for explaining. It's always a pleasure to listen to all this. And 2 things. First of all, I've written, I have heard, read 2 places which talk about plasma technology. And then I heard the video which was for 8 months before, and somebody explained that plasma technology is a non-conventional arm that Iranians have it for some time already, but they don't use it because they already have enough conventional material to do whatever they want. And that is only to defend. When they are attacked, they might use that. So that's really not the rumor anymore, because they talk about this. And secondly, I think I understood that instead of enlightening one by one, if we can have a web of enlightened people, different places, and with a headphone or some other ways, we can connect them together. They can help people around to get enlightened. Because if you remember in the one teaching, he said that when somebody got enlightened, the others in the graph raised their level of soul. And so it's always, if there is one person who has enlightened and depending on the force, can enlighten the whole people around that place. So that's another thing which is possible. Yeah, and also we talk about things which we never knew exist before. Like we always were very suspicious of if it's possible that we can get enlightened or can changes happen with these rays. Now with the experiences Mr. Keshe says and uses the guinea pigs. I'm there also. I'm very proud of it. So these experiments show that it truly is possible to raise the level of consciousness. I don't know how much permanent, but and also he said that these developed during the days after that. So it's not a dream anymore, but we are advancing little by little. And I think just we go on with force and we see what will happen. Thank you.
Okay, perhaps we can move on to the announcements from the last workshop with Mr. Keshe. We've got a 10-minute video here that I can play now, and he'll talk about some of the things that we've been discussing as well. Let me get that set up.
Seeing these items are already priced, and they're on the website of the Keshe Foundation. What we call the products have been packaged in 5 and 10 for the gel packs, and the items of the resin has been left freely. The important thing about this, what we see on the screen, the new pen paint. These are made of resin, and they carry a much more powerful interaction than before, because now there is no plastic covering the interaction between the person holding it and the position, so distribution of the energy. These paint pens, the new generation of it will come out maybe in next few months, where they internally will be connected to the system of the obesus, which means when you have a condition, you use these pen pens instead of what we call your mobile phone, connecting directly to the system, preset, and will carry the universal transmission units inside them, which means for a specific conditions, in a way, when you buy the apps, these are the connection with the apps. We are a few months away from this, but the system will be embedded inside this. For any condition, the pen as a relief of pain is supplied for under license and certification, will be connected to the central, what we call energy system of the Keshe Foundation across the world, which means diabetic and cancer, anything will be done, diagnosis of the doctors, once these systems are certified, and you just need to keep it at home. And then you change for another condition. You have a broken bone you want to heal faster, you just use the pen, you ask, you join the app will transmit changes to your pen, and voila, it's done. There is a lot of these things coming up, but we are setting the structure in the background. There's a huge amount of work is going in the background in the Keshe Foundation to create a new dimension and condition, and as we said, this is part of it. The ONN system will support this, and we gradually break up in 2026 the technology of the Keshe Foundation worldwide in a very large scale, massive way, which we are now working on, the team of the Keshe Foundation, the knowledge seekers and non-knowledge seekers who work with the foundation to expand this technology beyond. There is one point which is not available at the moment. We just tell you about it, that it will be set up by, it's already set up, going through its tests this week. And that is the Keshe Foundation has set up a new page for itself, with the difference that this time the Keshe Foundation as an association, it needs to be registered. Once we give you the link to the Keshe Foundation Association, you register yourself to become a member of the Keshe Foundation. You have to log in, you have to sign in, and you become a member. By law, we have to have a membership which is put at €1. You can pay anything you like. It will be set up through PayPal, which means everything has to be correct. If you want to make donations for specific projects, again, you go through the same system, donation for this purpose, and the rest of it. We are giving another structure to this structure of the Keshe Foundation in this way. Keshe Foundation Holland stays the principal owner of all the Keshe Foundation work. But a further development for this, for us, is that once we introduce the one card nation through the ONN, then you all registered through it. It's part of the work which will come in later on, step by step, and will bring a lot of freedom to us to operate internationally. For those of you who are with us tomorrow, you need to bring with you, if you have already received your emails, must be with you. You need 2 headsets, as was before, 2 for the way they're structured on the sides and one front and the back. And then we take control, we take charge. And the session tomorrow is very, very heavy, extensively what we call set up to test cosmic rays and what we call a spectrum of the radiation fields, which is part of the work of the soul of the man. And it works very heavily on what we call the spectrum of the fields. We decide what to do, how to do it, and you will feel the change and you will understand the change. And then we change everything else to another dimension in the following month. Just be aware that you have to understand that in the work of the Keshe Foundation, at this moment of time, we are there to develop the technology in the spectrum of the bringing world peace, universal one language, universal government. And so bits and bits of it is coming together.
Micah has a question about the new resin products. Are they specifically made in a new way with the cosmic ray technology?
They're made for peace and balance. They're made primarily for peace and balance. When you have balance, you find peace. When you get peace, you need to strengthen it. And the combination is made in a way that there is some, what do you call it, the direct cubicle ones. I don't know if they've released that yet. It's like fish tanks. Those are extremely heavily done towards the peace. I don't know if you see it. It's like ducks and other things in it with a green base. And this is they're primarily done for the peace and balance. There are some made in the shape of a cross, and is to be given to some nuns and priests in the coming months. And they carry the energy of the balance and peace. And we are monitoring how the nuns and the priests react by holding these. It will be spread across the European churches. We want to see what peace it brings when they hold it. What will change? A number of this is getting distributed across the churches in Europe.
New pain pens still for personal use, or can it be used by other family members?
Yes,
Just personal.
Yeah,
okay.
Keep it that way. There'll be a limited number of these will be produced at different colors, different things, but primarily the same. And if you buy two, it's the best because you can put one on this side and the other one transfers. They're not all the same in construction constitute. And
different colors for different things, you mean, or the colors don't matter?
They're randomly different colors.
Okay.
It was a little bit boring than just the blue. There is a mark on it. We know it's our product, and they cannot be copied as they try. As you see, knowledge seekers copy everything. There'll be a number of new resellers around the world, which will be announced in the coming time with the knowledge seekers, that you can get your products from the new partnerships of the Keshe Foundation around the world, that these products will be available through. And this reseller allows the knowledge seekers to run a very in-depth, more products-based, what we call a structure.
And I understand the new products, resin products, will be available at the store later today, I believe.
They're already there, I think. The products, there is some more getting added. It's like the, what do you call it? Fish tanks, I call them. Originally, there used to be fishes in it, but there's some for green ones, like for ducks and other things. It's just made fun to be fun. But in fact, it does the work. Remember not to put any of these products on a metal container or anywhere with the metals. Try to hang them if you can in most places. They are made, a lot of them, if you can hang them somewhere, put them up in a wooden shelf and that kind of thing. Do not put them somewhere when there is a metal interaction.
Okay, that completes our excerpt from the 627th Knowledge Seekers Workshop on the new products. Okay, let me get organized here. I believe it's time for transmutation with Mashfaq, Shweta, and others. Are you available, Mashfaq? Hi.
Mosbeg, representing Bengali language as a Universal Council Support member. So today I'm going to use a screen to do my presentation. I'll draw some things. So let me connect from my computer as well. So that I can share my screen. So as I connect, I'll talk a little bit to give an introduction to what I'm going to discuss. So in the last what do you call it, the workshop of the Keshe Foundation, we had we noticed the various aspects of carbon, and so at the level of our galaxy, it's carbon 14, and once we cross the boundary of the galaxy, we are in the arena of carbon 16, the universal context, and then carbon 18 as we move to the Unicos level. And the surrounding this is carbon 24, which is the field that starts it all. And of course, there are other carbons like carbon 48, carbon 60, which are related to the manifestation aspect of things, but that we won't talk about that. But this other side of things, where we look into this, the fields that permeates the universe, and as creators, various entity contributes their own fields and to this creation, and how they're interrelated. And this is something that I'll draw a picture so that it becomes more sort of like you can visualize them, and you'll see that it's much simpler than it may sound if we use words. So let me share my screen now. Let's see. So I'll draw some things. Okay, there's my screen. I'll see. Okay. All right. So, now imagine this page that I have here as the, I'll leave it this way. All right. So in this creation, this is the light. Let's consider this page, the white part of it. The context of the creation, the white light permeates the whole creation, which has everything in it. And now what we add, let's say, this is our, let's say, Unicos level. And let us make it, since the pink border, I will make it pink, and let's see, fill color. So we'll just add something like color to it. Let me make it a little more pink, less pink. All right. And so now that the Unicos has been created, what we will do is we'll also set the transparency. Okay. Transparency at as 50%. And so this pink that I just filled the whole circle with is only 50%. The white light is showing through it. And so this is, the creation is, this Unicos context has both the color of the white light as well as this pink color that it presents, but they're mixed together. Now let's say we add the universal level to it, which is, let's make it a little, something smaller. And we'll fill it with, let's say, yellow. And it's 50. Let's make this half of 50. So it has less say in it, but it has both the white, the pink, and the yellow. But the yellow has less effect. Now, if we add to this, let's magnify it a little bit. So now we add the context of let's say the galaxy context. Now, let's make it green and make the opacity or transparency half of what it was. So now this galaxy has the color of the whole creation, the white, the pink, and the yellow, and the green all mixed together. So in this galaxy and within this universe, we have this color, feeling, love, emotion, however you may put it. That's the feel. It's a combination of all of it. And you can add solar system, including individuals such as ourselves. So as we appear in this creation, we color the creation with our own color. That doesn't mean that it doesn't have the color of the Earth, the color of our galaxy, our universe, and the universe. All of these colors are there. We are just the next color. We're adding the next color. Perhaps because of our field strength change, it only adds a little bit, but that little bit does matter. And by this, we color the creation in all different ways. And if you notice the game, the same story is there as well. So it's the coloring. And can we sense this color? Can we feel this color? Can we manifest this? Why not? This is part of our being. The color that we represent is unique. And that's where the beauty is. We look at another individual, we see the beauty of that person. It's not quite the same. They're human, all right. They're colored by a planetary life form called the human race. But within that, each individuality speaks for itself in harmony with the rest of the colors. And it's a beauty to behold in any shape or form. It's a very simple presentation I did, but I hope you understand that, we are made of everything that there is, yet we are unique. Doesn't it make sense? Thank you very much. That would be all.
Thank you, my dear Moshfik. Beautifully you explained. And there is this saying in Sanskrit, like as we know, Aham Brahmasmi. That means I am the universe. So beautifully you explained. Beautiful. Thank you so much, my dear. Thank you.
Now, we have a bit of a mysterious one here about transmission with Mark and Mehran. What is transmission?
I think that was what Mr. Keshe was testing in the session of transmission. And again, there's 2 more available for you to participate in, keeping the Keshe Foundation free for humanity. Again, it's not so much what we achieved individually, I think, but it's collectively. As he told us, he changed the settings, which he likes to do many times, I guess every 30 minutes within the session. I was wishing just to be happier. Not that I'm not happy, but sometimes I'm seeing the cup as half full instead of, or seeing the cup the wrong way. Not the cups that we make, but just things, rather than seeing the cup half empty or see it half full. So that what I was wishing for, and of course continued health, that I could serve better or serve more or serve longer. That was one of the other things. I wished to see the mother. I had the picture of the mother. And of course, as I know, she's probably not looking exactly the same as she looked on this planet, but I felt I made some sort of connection. I didn't actually see in the magnetic fields her picture, but I sort of felt the presence of the soul in a way. And then, as I said earlier, and Mr. Keshe had asked, I think, the workshop before, about having your game ready to play. Although he didn't ask us to play the game, I took the liberty of playing the game because it's all part of the structure. And hopefully what he was trying to make this transmission through the frontal part of the skull, I thought it perhaps would come in a way through gameplay as well. Again, below clinical level, I didn't fully notice it. But I did hear some of the reports after, and Myrna said a very, I don't know if she wants to share it, but wasn't it Myrna's where he said that when you were explaining what you experienced, this is what we call enlightenment? Or maybe perhaps it was someone else, or don't feel you have to respond, you don't.
Oh, yes.
But I don't remember exactly what you were saying for some reason. But I remember Mr. Keshe saying this is what we call enlightenment. Maybe you'll share that.
Yes, and I was very surprised because I just enjoyed the adventure, and I don't know what I wanted at first. I wrote in the chat what I was feeling as the time goes. And at some time I had the feeling of love and creator. Sometime then I found absolute calmness and being present, which took a while but didn't last. And then I was noticing almost all the time, whatever I wanted, which was presented to me, like I wasn't going to go to places. The things I needed inside me was presenting me, and I was looking at it with a clear vision. Like something opens up my soul or my soul of physicality and vision. So I could go through them and see what and how. And it was presenting it to me. And as it goes on, it was again the same way. And then I was presented, coming to my mind, the things that I had heard about, but I didn't know in details and in feeling. So I kind of discovered about those subjects something new, and about feeling of that and profounder of that, which was new to me. And and I was going a subject to subject, and I was getting new vision, new discoveries. And I think when I told Mr. Keshe, I was writing them as the time goes on the chat, and because there were others also who were feeling things. And when I said to Mr. Keshe at the end that things I needed inside me, they were presented to me. They were coming to me, kind of presented to me in view of me. And I was finding the things. And he said that might be or is something we call enlightenment. And sometimes I was having feelings and I had tears and I was crying by emotion and kind of getting a whole image of what the whole thing is, like kind of finding a thread which is in common between all things, which Mr. Keshe was teaching us, and which is about feeling and acknowledgement and loving. And then and then he said, you watch if it continues during the day. Honestly, I don't know if it was the session or what, Mr. Keshe, but I was kind of in a dream-like state, kind of euphoria. I don't know what, I never felt like that. Like sometimes some people who use the substance to feel something, I've never tried them. So I was in some kind of achieving something in myself. And then it continued likely 2 days after. Today, I find new things. In general, I'm more peaceful and more relativizing everything. I'm not worried about anything anymore. Kind of like there is some logic in the whole thing, and that's the whole thing which matters, not the small little things. So I think I still continue a little bit like before, but I have more peace inside me, assurance and peace, because I was actually very worried these last weeks about war and things like that, which was happening. Really, I was putting a lot of time to see what's going on. Now it's finished, kind of, and I know there is some mightier force which has everything in hand. I kind of trust completely that, and I see how much this peace inside helps me and continues. And I thank God, I thank God, Mr. Keshe, for this occasion. So that was, at first it was not something going on. And then he said, in fact, something is supposed to happen after 10 o'clock. Because at first I was just wandering around. I wasn't feeling anything. And I have done before, but this one was really having impact in my inside, kind of like in the middle of maybe an hour before the end, I was feeling completely in present time and capable. Kind of, I'm able to achieve anything and to do anything, which didn't last. And then I said to Mr. Keshe that sometimes when I was somewhere and I wanted it to continue, I was using prayers, special prayers in our religion or mantra, yeah, something like that. and it was staying more. I could dive into it. So I was using that also. Well, we'll see. I'll see how much it would continue. Oh, but it was really different the other times as far as it was more close to our makeup, to our nature. It was very close. I thought I at some time I thought if it could continue, I didn't know. I don't know where I was going to get to what I was getting. But at the end, I was visiting again the people which were presenting themselves, not presenting, but coming to my mind, but with another site which I was not aware like that before. So it was kind of new to me, new and exciting. So well, thank you.
Yeah, there were many comments similar to that. Not everyone made comments in the chat. Rick, if we could have a background put back, or if you'd like to show in the store. Anyone else who was there who feels comfortable to share any experiences, please either raise your hand or open your mic. But I think this is part of the development. Again, as Myrna said, she's a guinea pig. She's a paid guinea pig. We thank you for that. But as he said, what they've learned or what was transmitted by the 3i, they're taking some of that information and opening up some sort of communication through the frontal part of the skull, the emotional part. And this is what they were trying to achieve. And he was looking for key words at the end when people said what they were experiencing. And he said, we heard those words we were looking for. So, and he said, we've also confirmed another aspect of the technology or perfection of the technology. So continue to keep the Keshe Foundation free. Anyone else who would like to say anything about their experience? Again, I didn't turn into a prince or a frog or anything like that, but I'm sure that things have happened. And again, even if the others do better than me, that's fine. We're just here to serve the others.
Okay, thank you,
Thank
Mark.
you, my dear Rick. Mark, don't turn into frog or prince. Here we are, needs and wishes, beautiful souls. So, as there are the whole session was with interactions with beautiful souls, and it is done in a way. So, thank you for interacting, for sharing, beautiful souls. So, the wishes. We, the Universal Council, give from our soul for protection of those living in fear in natural disaster areas, and our soul wishes to help cover all emotional and physical needs. Our wish is our command. We are present.
We, the Universal Council, give from our soul collectively to protect all the world and Iran from all evil.
We, oops.
Just a minute, Mark. It's glitchy here, and I'm having a hard time controlling it.
No problem. At least your voice is the same. I heard somebody on one of these podcasts saying his soundboard changed his voice in the middle of the podcast or when he started to what do they call that? A spooky voice or something? He didn't pick up on it right away. So he thought, I think it was the AI assisting him.
Yes, indeed. Okay, we should be good now. You want to go ahead there, Mark?
Sorry, I was reading it with the mic closed. We, the Universal Council, elevate the soul of the leaders and the population throughout the American continent to live in harmony, respecting each nation as equal.
We, the Universal Council, give through our souls that Russia and Ukraine can find peace for the sake of all the families of the planet. Our wish is our command. We are present. We, the Universal Council, elevate the souls of the leaders involved in conflicts in Sudan and other areas only by greed with unconditional love and inner peace so that they respect the lives of all population because they are sovereign and free. Our wish is our command. We are present.
Okay, before we end our needs and wishes, we have a comment from Tender in the YouTube. I asked if they had played the game yet, but no, I haven't played yet. It says, but in so many ways, it gives me the idea that we probably play similar situations in reality on a smaller or bigger scale in everyday living life, everyday life. Would you players
Yes.
confirm that? Yes, we can confirm that, of
Yes.
course, the game has many correlations in reality, and will have even more so as we progress and as we mentioned, there are connections to various aspects of the Keshe Foundation that can be connected within the game, and connections with others and other types of situations, life situations will come up as we go along and engage more deeply with the game situation. Definitely, it's similar to life, and that's what makes it engaging in many ways.
Yes, beautifully explained. Thank you, my dear Vic. Life and living in peace and enlightenment. And we are here to serve, not to be served, beautiful souls. This is the time. So, as one being, we are at service for humanity. And welcome, welcome, welcome again, Suswagatam, into the beautiful, beautiful energy of Keshe Foundation Spaceship Institution, organization, beautiful energy of all souls in existence, dear beautiful souls, so universal, so oneness, so beautiful. So, and of course, gratitude, gratitude, gratitude from the core of my heart and soul. And of course, all the love always and blessings of Ma, dear beautiful soul. The Universal Council. Salam, Namaste, Salute.
Okay, thank you, Shweta. And
I can give the little words. It's
okay.
time for say thank you so much, beautiful souls, because you all the time is be part of the soul of the peace. You all the time you construct the peace with the our behavior. Thank you so much. And invite the continue the point of view only only the one way is the peace. Only the one way is continue work with the ethos of the creator. Do good, speak good, and think good. Thank you so much.
Okay, thank you, Lissy, and thank you, Shweta, and thanks to all the members and support members of the Universal Council for presenting today's 416th One Planet, One Nation, One Race for Justice and World Peace here on Tuesday, February 3rd, 2026. Now, as Mark mentioned, we have a workshop coming up on the following Monday, on Monday the 9th. It's always the second Monday of the month for the public meeting for testimonials. And I'll remind people that's a good place to deliver your testimonial to be recorded. And in a way, it's a way you can help pay back for receiving the knowledge of the plasma technology. And many people have delivered their testimonies at the public meeting for testimonials over the years. And we've accumulated quite a few testimonials, and they're always interesting and engaging in that workshop. And that's again on Monday the 9th, and that starts at 8 p.m. Central European Time, public meeting for testimonials. Our next public teaching workshop will be the Keshe Plasma Reactor Group, which will be tomorrow, Wednesday, February 4th. And it's open to the public, starts at 7 a.m. Central European Time. And we usually go for several hours to discuss things of the plasma nature and look at experiments and other things that people have to share. So again, starts at 7 a.m. Central European Time on Wednesday. And of course, the Knowledge Seekers Workshop comes up on February 5th, as usual. And we should have a 9 a.m. start time for that workshop with Mr. Keshe. Okay. I think that covers
Then
the
we are
announcements.
transmitting dance, dance, and clap, clap.
Yes, indeed.
Dance, dance, and clap, clap. The souls blessings of Ma be enjoyed, my dear. Clap, clap, and dance. Thank you.
Clap
Thank
and
you so
dance
much.
your way through the day. Thank you, Shweta, for that intro.
Through the day. Yes, of course.
And we go out with our Flight Enhancement Spaceship Unit music version. And bye for now, everyone. Thank you for being here. And see you in one of the next public teaching workshops.